You won't believe what happened when a millionaire thought his little girl was blind for her whole life, until one day, the maid uncovered a truth that no one expected. This story will stay in your heart for a long time, because it's about love, sacrifice, and the power of truly seeing someone for who they are. It all started with a man named Richard. He was a successful businessman who had everything money could buy: luxury cars, a mansion, the kind of life people dream about. But behind all that wealth was a heart full of guilt. His wife had passed away when their daughter Emily was just a baby, and Richard had thrown himself into work, trying to bury the pain. Emily was the only thing that mattered to him now. She was sweet, gentle, and full of life, but she had a condition that broke his heart every day. Emily was blind, or at least, that's what everyone believed. Doctors told Richard there was nothing they could do. He spent millions trying to find treatments, traveled to specialists across the world, but nothing worked. So he promised himself he would make Emily's life as bright as possible, even if she could never see the world. He bought her every toy she wanted, read her stories every night, and described every sunset so she could picture it in her mind. But deep down, Richard was haunted by guilt. If only he had been a better husband, maybe fate wouldn't have taken so much from them. Then came Maria. She was the maid Richard hired after struggling to manage the household on his own. Maria wasn't just an employee, she had a warmth that made everyone feel safe. Emily loved her immediately. They would sit in the garden for hours, Emily asking questions about flowers and butterflies, and Maria patiently describing everything. But Maria noticed something strange about Emily. Sometimes, Emily would reach out for things, before Maria even described where they were. One day, a bright red balloon floated into the yard, and Emily's little hand shot up, pointing at it before Maria said a word. Maria froze. How could Emily know that balloon was there? At first, Maria brushed it off. Maybe it was a coincidence. But the signs kept coming. Emily would walk around the room without bumping into anything. She'd pick colors that matched perfectly when playing with her dolls. Maria couldn't shake the feeling that Emily could see, at least a little. One afternoon, Maria decided to test her suspicion. She placed a shiny golden bracelet on the table and didn't say a word. Emily walked in, paused, and whispered, "Wow, it's so pretty." Maria's heart skipped a beat. "Emily," she said softly, "can you see this bracelet?" The little girl hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Please don't tell Daddy," she whispered, her eyes filling with tears. Maria knelt down, shocked. "Why, Emily, why wouldn't you want your dad to know?" Emily's voice trembled. "Because, if Daddy knows I can see, he won't spend time with me anymore." Maria's heart broke in that moment. This little girl wasn't blind out of illness, she was blind out of fear. Emily explained that when her mom died, Daddy started working all the time. But when the doctors said she couldn't see, he changed. He stayed home more. He told her stories. He loved her differently. And Emily was terrified of losing that. "If he knows I'm okay," she sobbed, "he'll go back to his office, and I'll be all alone." Maria hugged her tightly, tears streaming down her face. She didn't know what to do. She wanted to tell Richard, but she couldn't betray Emily's trust. So, she kept the secret, at least for a while. But then something happened that forced the truth to come out. One evening, the house caught fire. The flames spread fast, and Richard was trapped outside, screaming Emily's name. He tried to run in, but the smoke was too thick. Suddenly, everyone saw a small figure darting through the smoke: Emily. She ran down the stairs, holding her favorite stuffed bear, and navigated the burning house with ease. Richard froze. There was no way a blind child could escape like that. When they finally got outside, Richard grabbed her, sobbing. "Emily, how did you do that?" Emily's secret was out. She looked at him with tears in her eyes and said, "Daddy, please don't stop loving me." Richard was speechless. All this time, she had been able to see, at least for the past year, and she kept it hidden just to keep him close. The realization shattered him. He wasn't angry. He wasn't hurt. He was heartbroken, at himself. He hugged her so tight and whispered, "I'm so sorry, baby. You'll never be alone again. I promise." From that day on, Richard changed. Not because Emily needed him out of weakness, but because he understood what true love really means. He sold part of his business, spent more time at home, and together, they rebuilt their lives, not as a father and a fragile daughter, but as best friends who finally saw each other clearly. And here's the truth this story teaches us: sometimes, the people we love don't need our money, our gifts, or our success. They just need us, our time, our presence, our love. Because in the end, that's what truly matters. So, what would you do if someone you loved was hiding their pain just to keep you close? Would you notice? Or would it take losing everything to open your eyes? Think about it. And if this story touched your heart, share it with someone you love, before it's too late.